Squad Logical Man back again with another one. So today's news, oh man, juggings. Juggings are up around the nation, especially in Houston. I gotta tell you guys, man, you gotta be safe out here, man. These dudes out here are basically just savages. They have no home structure, nothing built up that's got them in order until they go to prison, get old, maybe, and get out, maybe become a, a good citizen. But and most likely, it's all a rotation back in the cycle. Let's go into the news. Let's get into
You
this
go
story.
shopping for the perfect gift or groceries for the perfect meal, but once you leave the store, look out. Someone may be setting their sights on you and your goods.
Juggings are violent personal crimes that can cost you and your family thousands of dollars and can even put your life at risk. KPRC 2 investigates Mario Diaz recently met with law enforcement for tips to help keep you safe at a time when the numbers show that juggings are up significantly.
Easy money. I can take her. She's 5 foot tall, weighs maybe 100 pounds. And she's our next good victim because she wears jewelry and she drives a big car.
Vicky Carr laughs now, but she didn't back on November 11th after an HPD detective knocked on the front door and informed her
You were followed from HEB on Katy Freeway.
You were targeted by joggers.
I was targeted by men, bad guys, who were intended harm.
Carr was very lucky. A sting operation already had several officers monitoring the crew, and they trailed the suspects following Carr 17 miles to her daughter's home.
I was shocked, had no idea that I had been followed.
Taken down, handcuffed before they could do harm. Again, Carr was one of the lucky ones. But others in our area have not been as fortunate of late. HPD's Robbery channel on YouTube showcasing several examples of juggings, criminals following victims in parking lots and to their homes.
We're seeing, 20% some months, up to 40% in some months of an increase of the number of juggings.
HPD's own numbers show juggings in 2022 have already surpassed 2021 totals, with November and December numbers not even posted yet.
The workload for us our detectives is a lot more during the holiday season.
Keep in mind, juggings have taken place far beyond Houston's city limits.
Of
And with
course.
the holiday season upon us, law enforcement around our area is gearing up.
The thieves are shopping too.
But they're not going to pay.
No. Unfortunately, they're making a living off of your hard work.
We talked with Sugarland and Houston police for advice to share with holiday shoppers.
If you're going to be making any big purchases, like if you're going to Apple or Best Buy, and I don't mean to pick on them, but if those are your big purchases, electronics and things like that, jewelry, not to go out to lunch afterwards and leave it in your car. Take it straight home and really pay attention to what's going on around you.
Paying attention, the number one tip we heard from law enforcement, especially when heading to your vehicle.
Walk with your keys in your hand. Pay attention. Keep your head on a swivel.
To everybody, when you're leaving out a store, get off your cell phone.
They're looking for the easy target.
Easy targets also translates to the elderly in many cases, like Miss Carr. But according to HPD, the target, more often than not,
Right there.
It's mostly females that have children with them.
which
Single
is
mom.
why shopping in groups is another key tip we heard from law enforcement. And the final piece of advice to prevent a jugging, it has to do with the drive home.
If you feel you're a victim, you're possibly being followed this holiday season, is get on the phone, call 911, and describe your situation. Don't drive home. Stay on the phone and until they tell you, hey, there's an officer behind you.
And how do you know if someone is following you?
So an easy way to do that is to make 3 or 4 rights to get back on your same street, or 3 or 4 lefts to get back on the same street. And if they're still behind you, that's when you call 911. Don't go home.
Since being targeted for a potential jugging, Carr has continued with her life the way she always has.
I refuse to live afraid. I'm not afraid.
One final piece of advice we heard, if you can online shop for a product, do so. Many big purchases provide free delivery. And just make sure that you are at home for that delivery or schedule it to your work if possible to avoid the potential of porch pirates.
You guys heard that. Juggings are up significantly. And this month's not even over yet, and they have a report of it's already higher than last year's. That blows my mind. These are easy targets, easy things to go. They love to say, travel in groups, you'll be safe. Groups of other women, they're targeting these single moms. They know these single moms are weak. Easy targets. Yes, a lot of people say, well, I can have my gun and get my gun. Are you willing to get yourself killed because you think you know how to use that weapon that you bought at the damn the pawn shop? That you bought that shit somewhere at some bullshit gun place and you never trained with it. Y'all not at the gun range every few weeks, every few months. What they don't want to tell you on the news is that having a man with you deters about 40% of crime. That's just a fact. And I realized something too, that it's smart for these guys to rob these liberal areas because these guys voted for this. You know, I realized that the city I'm in, Texas itself, Houston over here, has been becoming more flooded and more issues with liberals talking about. You know, we had a whole riot down here of people saying that the cops are too boisterous because they speak up. They're too violent with the citizens. They messing with them. They always going to the bad neighborhoods and picking on easy targets. This is what this has been heard in Houston. But people don't. Another thing they're not telling you too is that this shit is everywhere, especially Chicago, Mississippi, Louisiana. It's bad. Watch your surroundings to make sure that they're going for the easy money, the easy targets, the easy stuff. When you want to go into Best Buy and buy a new laptop, buy a new game system, watch your ass. When I bought my Xboxes, bro, you realize I already had my concealed carry for that ass? Watching my surroundings. I'm seeing, it sounds stereotypical when I say this. When I see BMWs and motherfuckers looking stupid with stupid dumb hair everywhere and shit and mean mugging, that's my main person to watch. Because those are the main ones doing this shit. You realize that when they said targeting the women, right? Do you realize that their own creation, their own shit they set out here in this world is coming back to haunt them? These dudes are now targeting these single moms or targeting these women, and they're easy targets because these women back in the day, in those times, they were safe. Dudes wasn't robbing women, beating up women. Now they don't care. You raise monsters, savages as you want it. Another thing too, not to get followed. Make sure when you're driving, you take 2 rights and 2 lefts. If a motherfucker's still behind you at the 2 rights and 2 lefts, call the cops or drive to your local police department. Simple as that, man. So you guys watch out right here. Stay close to your local news. This stuff is happening a lot. Trust me, especially casinos, these little gambling places, these poker places. People are following their asses home and whooping their ass. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed. Well, I didn't enjoy it. It was kind of funny to me. A lot of these people that be getting robbed, they think they live in fairy tale land. This is crazy. Oh my God, I'm getting. What do you expect? You enable criminals. You love to vote the Democratic way. That do what? Give criminals less. Do you know what's crazy? So the people that got caught, the story of the lady, they got less than 3 months in jail. And they had multiple cases of robbing, jugging people. See, they say jugging. Jugging makes, or when people say jugging is the fun, exciting way of robbing. Strong arm robbery. It's robbery. It's not jugging. That is the hood slang for robbery, strong arm robbery, or taking somebody's shit and ripping them and running off. But you want lots of men. Thank you guys for watching, like, comment, subscribe. Remember to watch out for that interview coming soon. Hope you guys going to enjoy it. You guys go check out my community page. I'm going to be setting up all my news there and what's going on. And I want you guys to go watch my interview as soon as it drops. I'm out, man. Peace.